this is how you know boxing is a clown show. You got fighters fighting people 2 weight classes below. You got boxers on the undercard of YouTubers, okay? You got fighters crying at press conferences, fighters wearing purses. Then you just get the entire Showtime, which is half of boxing, shut down and put out of business for lack of putting on fights. You get laughed at in front of the entire world by Dana White. And to add insult and injury, you turn around and get one of your #1 heavyweights ass whooped by a UFC fighter. Man, boxing is a damn joke. I could go on forever. You mean to tell me in the midst of all this was going on and we in this predicament now because you guys, fighters don't want to fight fighters. We're in this predicament now because of what you guys just watched and paid for, some of you. I hope you realize that. Do you not know that that's helping engineer and keeping you away from boxers versus boxers? Had no time to entertain this crap, but we here. We here now. And this is what it is. But to add on top of all of what boxing is going through, you think we needed this? I mean, you couldn't script this. You couldn't tell me boxing is not the laughing sports of all the sports, if not combat sports. Come on now, bro. Come on. This is the worst time. And that's what I was saying at the end of my last video. This is the worst time out of all times to have one of your, and then it's Tyson Fury out of all people, and you know how you propped him up. He get in there and get ragdoll, and now everybody scratching their head. And y'all did this during a time where boxing is barely standing on one leg as it is. Y'all just came along and kicked another mud hole in it. It's time for us to get this understood. We still talking boxing, sport. Boxing is strictly entertainment. Now, the old days we still talk about boxing, how it used to operate and how they used to want to we got to stop that. This is strictly entertainment because skills and your accomplishment, that don't get you fights. It's do people like you or hate you, or can you bring people interested enough to cheer for you or cheer against you? That's it. Are you popular or not? That's it. That's what they're showing you what the bar is. So we're strictly a spectator sport. So if you want to get fights, you got to be like Cobbs. That's all it is. You got to be like Cobbs. You know what I'm saying? You guys got to know how to talk out there. You know what I'm saying? T.O. understood this. This is what Devin Haney's trying to master, but that's never going to be his lane. I think he figured that out now. But, this is where we at. The worst time in boxing. The worst time for something like this to happen is now, and it just happened. Y'all realize? I don't think this is sunk in yet. See, I can tell. This ain't even really sunk in. Y'all don't get the ramifications of what just really happened. You really don't. See, if anything, I'm going to end it on this. If anything, you caused another splinter in your mind in the heavyweight division. Bruce, what do you mean? Because we don't know who's the top guy in the heavyweight division. Even amongst the guys that we want to mix it up, it's still not a true representation of who's the best. Because there's still a lot of guys whose names are not popular who should be in the mix. But anyways, the splinter in your mind is we don't know who the best is. And when you got Ngannou and did what he did to Tyson Fury, okay, then if Tyson Fury go fight and beat this, or somebody beat and fight Tyson Fury and they this, that, okay, that settles it as far as the heavyweight division or something like that. But at the end of the day, we just want to know who the baddest motherfucker on the planet is. We're human beings. We always wanted to know that. Why do you think we race cars and do this and have competition? The human mind, soul has an urge to want to know who is and what is the best, the fastest, the strongest, the this and that. That's all we really want to know at the end of the day. Who's the top big? These some big giants walking around out here. If we was to get them all, who would last? Who's the top guy? That's why I say a lot of these UFC guys, I don't get why y'all just don't come to boxing. Me personally, I can't speak for everybody in boxing, but I love to have y'all. I love to have some basketball players. I love to have some football players. You know what I'm saying? So why don't y'all just come over here? And especially as far as the female boxing goes, if we could get the female competitors that is in UFC, I've been saying this shit for years. If you get the female competitors that's in UFC and put them in boxing, women's boxing would be off the fucking charts. Period. Off the charts. But, this is where we at. The worst time in boxing. The worst time for something like this to happen is now, and it just happened. Y'all realize? I don't think this is sunk in yet. See, I can tell. This ain't even really sunk in. Y'all don't get the ramifications of what just really happened. You really don't. See, if anything, I'm going to end it on this. If anything, you caused another splinter in your mind in the heavyweight division. Bruce, what do you mean? Because we don't know who's the top guy.